Hey fam, Chichi here, welcome back. I'm gonna be doing something completely different on this channel, and we're gonna talk about new fragrances. I never really discuss what's new and coming up in the fragrance world, so I was like, you know what, let me see how I feel about it, and then we can see how y'all feel about it, and we can see how we feel about it, about me doing, you know, my thoughts and opinions on the upcoming fragrance releases. But if you're new here, hey, I'm Chichi and I talk about all things lavish but logical. So if that's your sort of thing, go ahead, subscribe, make some friends in the comment section, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. We're gonna start off strong, and that is with Kayali. Kayali, they wanted to release not one, not two, not three, but 4 Oudgasm fragrances. Now, I know there's a bit of controversy with them naming the collection Oudgasm, but why don't you just get your head out the gutter? Like, you've never had a foodgasm, eargasm, voicegasm, gasm, like, stop it, we're adults here. So there are 4 flavors in this collection. We have Vanilla Oud, Cafe Oud, Rose Oud, and Tobacco Oud. If you know me, you know that I am not a fan of oud. However, there's also a possibility that I just haven't found my right oud. There's only one oud in my collection currently, and that's Parfums de Marly Delina Exclusive, where I do not smell the oud. I can't say that I'm like all the way interested in this collection just because I know the oud is going to be prominent in the collection. However, Mona did say that on the Richter scale of oud, the vanilla is the less oudy of them all. I personally would want to try that one and the rose. Cafe, I'm not quite sure if I would want to try it, only because I don't like coffee either. I know, I'm not a coffee girl either. I would be willing to try it though. Like, as long as I don't smell like coffee, I would definitely try it. I think it might have just released, depending on when I'm filming and when I'm posting. It might be already out. But I think I would get a travel size of the Vanilla Oud, just to see. Because, you know, I'm a curious cat over here. Your girl took a trip to Sephora and was smelling all the smells. So she got her notes here. Starting off with Tom Ford Cafe Rose. Now, this is actually a relaunch of Cafe Rose. And I've never smelled the original, but this one that I did smell, it's more rose than cafe, which, depending on which side of the fence you're playing for, like, I don't know how that really correlates. But for me, it was a lot more rose than cafe. So I was like, okay, that's cool. However, the rose wasn't giving enough for me to be like, ooh, she's cute, she's intriguing, inviting, all of that stuff. Like, I just didn't get that vibe. So I was just like, okay, like, that's cool. But yeah, she wasn't moving my spirit. So I think, you know, you could pass on that one. So next I tried Burberry Goddess, and on paper, I just got hit with that lavender and that slight spiciness from the ginger. And I was just like, oh boy, I'm not gonna like this one. The only lavender fragrance that I vibe with on that level is Guerlain's Mon Guerlain. Like, that vanilla lavender combination, love it. Can't wait to add it back into my collection. Waiting for a Sephora sale. But I just didn't like the opening of Burberry Goddess. It wasn't until the dry down where I was like, okay, she's cute. That's when I really started to pick up on the vanilla, and I didn't like turn my nose up at it. I think that one, I would try to sample it a little bit more on my skin, but if I ever did get a bottle, it would definitely be travel size worthy for me. But it was okay vanilla. You know, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, absolutely love it. It's just that lavender at the opening, I was just like, ugh, we in for a ride. Luckily, that ride was short, but overall, it was okay for me. Next up, we had the Valentino PP, pink PP. Do with that saying as you will. But this release actually confused me because I was just like, all right, is this limited edition? I know the girls were going crazy because everything was pink, and then they were a little disappointed that the bottle wasn't as opaque. Honestly, I heard more about the actual bottle than I did the fragrance. So when I went to Sephora to smell it, maybe that's why I didn't hear about the fragrance, because I could not smell it. I sprayed like heavily on the tester strip and I was just like, where's the fragrance? Like I couldn't smell anything. So I literally like couldn't make any judgment on it. And I was just like, this is why all y'all talking about this damn bottle. Ain't nobody talking about the actual fragrance, because you can't smell it. At least for me, couldn't smell it. So I wasn't a huge fan of Donna Born Aroma to begin with. The first one is the only one that I kind of like. I'm still on travel size level, but it was always quite not right. So I was just like, you know, that's gonna be a pass for me, because I'd rather at least smell the Donna Born Aroma original than literally nothing. So I don't know why I couldn't smell it, but it was a pass for me. I was like, it was nothing to judge. Now, I don't know why YSL, Valentino, and Prada always want to link up and be like, hey guys, we should drop everything at the same time. Cool, I think they're on the group chat. We have YSL Libre Absolu. Pretty bottle, but Libre, other than the original, it just, again, I think it might have had lavender in it as well. And I was just like, it smelled a little bit too mature for me. And she's a woman of a certain age. So I just wasn't vibing with it. It just really didn't speak to me. I should have known from the bottle. Like, I just really didn't care for the bottle. And I was just like, okay, you're here. So I was like, okay, it was all right. Nothing to write home. It's okay. Now, we also had Prada Paradoxe Intense. This definitely was an intense version of the original, which I absolutely love. It had a little bit more base. I guess it was more ambery, if I had to say something. More ambery vanilla, which isn't a bad thing. But I wanted to explore it just a little bit more because I really do love Prada Paradoxe. And I'm like, is that something that you would actually need to add to your collection? I would say no. I don't feel like it was a huge difference in intensity. I'm just gonna stick with the original. That's something that I do want to spray again on my skin just to get a better like vibe or feel to it. And then whenever, which wouldn't be soon, my original Prada Paradoxe finishes, I can think about whether I want to continue with the OG or get the intense. But right now, me and the original, we locked in, especially for fall. So yeah, we're keeping hot. I don't know who's gonna be in trouble or not, but it ain't me. But something that was coming out, and Sephora actually had it on the shelf, it was 7 Virtues. They are dropping a cherry scent called Cherry Ambition. And I was like, ooh, let's see how this one smells. As soon as we mention cherry, the first thought is gonna be like, how does it compare to Tom Ford's Lost Cherry? We're gonna get there. So this one is more candy cherry than a liqueur cherry, but it's got a little something extra, which is coming from what I think is the saffron. So this one has cherry, saffron, vanilla, and marshmallow. When I read the notes, I was like, this sounds like a party. It's not smoky. It's definitely still candy-like, but not in a juvenile way. Almost a very sweet cough syrup. Take that as you will. But I actually kind of liked it. If you wanted to add another cherry fragrance to your collection, it kind of gave me not necessarily a Kayali Love Fest. That pulls a little bit more woody. This one stayed more cherry. So I would get that if I wanted a topper to like a really like a cherry smelling tobacco fragrance. If you want a sweeter cherry, you might want to look into this one. I really do enjoy the 7 Virtues fragrances, and I think I would toy around with at least the travel size, because I can just see myself topping it off a chocolate fragrance, tobacco fragrance, a vanilla fragrance. I think that would just layer so beautifully with other things where you want to dial down the seriousness of a fragrance. I think that's where it'll get its strength. But this is only if you actually like layering. If you just want to wear it, boom, as the fragrance, it's nice. It's nice. It's cute. Yeah, it's cute. But is it a necessity? No, but I would play around with it. It's a good topper. I think it would be a great topper. Since we're talking about cherry, we have to go into the niche categories and talk about this Creed Carmina. The thing that spoke to me was that black cherry. And again, saffron and black cherry, they go together. So I'm very intrigued with that. I haven't been able to smell it. I haven't gone to any counters or anything like that. Based off of notes, it seems like something I would really, really vibe with. It's the black cherry that I'm just like, what you doing right there? Oh, what's up, saffron? Like, what's good? So I am curious about it. It seems like a lot of people are liking it, but of course, Creed prices puts everything on pause. So, I mean, I would love to see a comparison of the two, but I already know, you know, Creed and Seven Virtues are completely different scales. I have a lot of samples of Creed in general, but there aren't a lot of Creed fragrances where I'm just like, yeah. So whenever I do mosey on down to a luxurious mall where they sell Creed, this is on the top of my list to get my nose on. Follow me on Instagram or TikTok and I'll update you. Kilian also released a new fragrance called Smoking Hot. And I was kind of on the fence about it, but I also am very intrigued by it. Only because this one I think had like cinnamon, apple, little tobacco, vanilla. So it was putting me in the, you know, angel share minus the booze like vibe. But I'm like, maybe this will be a little bit smokier, which it depends on what kind of smoke, like what you smoking, like what's going on there. So I still want to try it. I feel like that would be fantastic layered with apple brandy on the rocks by Kilian, just to bring out that apple note. But I don't know, I'm still intrigued by it. Like I would love to get my nose on that one. It depends on how smoky that fragrance is, because if he gonna put smoking hot in the title, I would assume that it's gonna be a smoky fragrance. So I'm just like, I don't know, that might lean a little too masculine for me. It might not, but again, she layers. I love layering. So if you do have Smoking Hot and you a lady or a lady boy, let me know how that pairs with like apple brandy on the rocks and report back in the comment section. But if that's not something on my list, like real high up, like, oh my God, I gotta smell it. It was just like, okay. Well, if I check for you, I'm gonna check for you. And let's talk about my favorite perfume brand, and that is Parfums de Mali. They released something on the men's side called Althair. And just looking at the bottle, I was like, oh, she's giving pumpkin spice. And luckily enough, I had went down to my local Nordstrom and they had the bottle. I'm in trouble. I am in trouble because that fragrance smells so good. I don't even know why they released it for the fellas, because I feel like that should have been a feminine fragrance. Like, I think it is pretty balanced, okay? Anyone can wear it. I got a lot of the orange, I want to say they use orange flower, but I kind of got like an orange vibe as soon as you sprayed it. And then the vanilla, oh my God. It's perfect for fall. They launched it at the very, very right moment. And I want that bottle. Out of everything that I'm telling y'all today, that is the one I'm like, she needs to come home. Baby girl, come sign this. That don't even matter. Come sign this. I want that fragrance so bad. And I'm just like, girl, like you really can't be getting that right now. Like you have other things. And I have plenty of winter fragrances, fall fragrances, but that one, I won't see. That would be my first men's fragrance from Parfums de Marly. I still want to finish collecting the rest of my feminine line, but when oh my God, I can still remember the vanilla that was in here. Oh my gosh. Like, it was so good. And then when I got home, I layered a little angel share on it. She couldn't tell me nothing. Couldn't tell me nothing. It didn't project very well. Like, I felt like that was a more intimate close encounter scent. It wasn't like blooming everywhere, which is fine by me, but I loved it. It's so perfect for fall. It had the spice, like I could smell the spices and that vanilla. I know I keep saying vanilla, and I think it was praline, if I remember. The lady was telling me, I want to say it had praline in it, and it was just sweet and just edible, beautiful. It's not like a heavy hitter, but it was like, oh, what's up? Like, what's good? But I feel like that one, I'm gonna need her. Like, I might not get, well, him, I might not get him this year, but next year, you best believe she's coming home with me. Like, I'm definitely getting that one to add to the collection, 1000%. Unless somebody wants to send me a bottle, then highly appreciate it. Shifting gears is not fragrance per se, but I feel like we still can talk about it. Fenty launched their Fenty perfume in the body cream. Now, I have not purchased it, and hopefully it will launch in Sephora around the, Sephora VIB sale, so I can get 20% off. But I went to smell the actual fragrance. The fragrance really isn't my cup of tea. However, sometimes when you're doing a body cream, the fragrance is a little bit more toned down. So that's the only thing that's kind of piquing my interest in whether or not I would want to try it. But the packaging looks phenomenal. It looks so good. If we know anything about the regular Fenty skin body butters, we already know that this cream is going to be uber luxurious, especially at that price point. If the fragrance is toned down, I think it will layer with a lot more fragrances and then add a little kick to them. Fenty's perfume in general, I would need to play around with a little bit more, but if that body cream is tweaked a little bit, I'd be interested. So hopefully it does come to Sephora and I can get my hands on it and smell it and then make my decision from there. But she's in the maybe category. Bath & Body Works decided that they wanted to launch fabric softener, laundry detergent, scent beads, and I get it, but I'm not sure about it because I'm someone who doesn't like a lot of fragrance on their clothing that I didn't put there. And it's also, I'm like, will some of these fragrances carry? Like, I don't want to smell pumpkin spice on my clothes. You get my drift? So there are a couple of scents that I was like, oh, okay. That white tea and sage, I'm like, oh, that would be lovely for like my linens. Like, the only time I wash clothing with fragrance like that is mainly when I do my linens. I really don't like any scents on the clothes. That's why I got perfume. I don't want to interact with anything. It's not moving me the way I think some people are really excited about, but I'm just like, I don't know. What they should have done is give us some matching hand lotions for the hand soaps. That's what I want. Can I get a white tea and sage hand lotion? Like, that's what I want to see. I want to put that set on my counter. I can't do that. No. Now my soap smells like white teas and sage, and now I gotta throw on some Eucerin next to it. Like I wanna pair it up. Hopefully they start making like the hand lotions, but I'm not in a rush to actually try the laundry stuff. If anything, I'll get the scent boosters in the white tea and sage so I can wash my linens with it. Or I want to say they have lavender vanilla as well. Again, I know I'm not a lavender type of girly, but sometimes with the right vanilla, I'll use it for that. And then finally, Maison Francis Kurkdjian decided he wanted to drop a body wash and not tell nobody. It looks like the whole body line kind of got a little revamp, so they have changed the packaging a little bit. It got a little pump and all that stuff. But he also has body lotions. Now, he already had the body lotions, but this one comes in 5 flavors: BR 540, 724, A La Rose Oud, Satin Mood, and Aqua Universalis. Now, I don't know who I need to speak to on the MFK team, but how come we don't have Gentle Fluidity Gold as a hand lotion or a body wash? Because that's the fragrance I would want to add to my collection, because I absolutely love that vanilla. Because Baccarat Rouge 540 is my Frank's hot sauce of fragrance, I wouldn't mind getting the body wash, because I literally put on Baccarat almost with everything. Like it just adds a little seasoning to it. I like when it pops up and say, "Hey girl, you doing good? All right, take care. I'm gonna head out." I've always enjoyed it. So if you did have the lotion, the prices have gone up, but you also get, I want to say, 100 mLs more product. So do with that as you will. I do like the cylinder components that they are using versus the square ones, because oh my God, the lotion is so awkward to hold. You know, I'm all about my comfortability when using products, and I hate using the body lotion because it's hard to squeeze out. I want to say a lot of people, you know, bought it up, but I'm sure they'll be restocking as they replenish their site. So let me know if you enjoyed my little breakdown, if you want me to do it more often and you like the vibes. But in the meantime, check out some of my other videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.